Welcome to another day of DEI Total War. It's hot in my room. Well, it's warm in my room. That's why I'm not exactly excited. But yeah, I think in the previous video, I talked about how melee combat and shield, actual shields, in the sense of you holding them, might be making a comeback in the future, but and in this one I was supposed to talk about weaponry, I believe, like long-range weapons and stuff, is what I was thinking of talking about. What the hell was I doing? Oh my god, I don't even know what I'm trying to do here. Right, we're moving east. No, we're moving west. West, yes. No, east. Wait, no, west. East, no? Wait, whoa. Okay, north, south, east, west, yes, east, west. We're going west. Then why did I click east? Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay, so we were going west. Oh my goodness. I don't know. Get something. I don't even care. You don't even matter, really. You're in the south. What are you doing? What was I doing with you? No, we're gonna get 2 dart slingers. Fuck it. Two dart slingers. Yeah. Now let's get some dart slingers out here. Or javelin men. I don't know. Dart slingers or javelin men. Lucian light infantry. Never mind, they don't seem pretty good. Legionary javelins. Well, we'll make... Shit. Screw it, we'll just make one of those. Yeah, Brutian infantries. Whatever. My goodness. Right, you guys had to stop this place from... Well, that says 11. So one of you doesn't have to be here. You don't have to be here. Let's bring you to Genua. Oh my goodness. I also forgot to start my timer. Whatever. It'll be an approximation. So, yeah, in terms of long-range weaponry, so like guns and stuff. So... Oh wait, I also forgot to clarify this. When I'm talking about the future, I don't mean like 2021 or 2037 or 2182. You know, I actually mean something along the lines of 32, 41, 89, you know, that kind of future. Like, so far ahead that we think we should have space travel to a fairly common thing that you do. So, like, even militaries and civilian transport ships will be doing this like as if it was normal, you know, space traveling. Across planets, maybe across solar systems, which are, I guess, star systems. And then, probably not across galaxies, to be honest. Probably not across galaxies, but definitely across star systems and, solar systems, star system. Oh my god, they're the same thing. You get my point. We'll be doing that kind of traveling, and on a fairly regular, easy kind of basis, kind of things. Gaelic rebellions, attrition report. That was probably because it was a winter turn. Alright, Alright, you had to move towards Noreia. And then you have to move to Genua. Moving north. We're gonna move north and help out at Octudron. It seems to be the good place we need to be. We'll get 2 North Italian spears and 1 North Italian cavalry. I think Ligurian cavalry. So yeah, that's the kind of future I'm talking about. In terms of long-range weaponry, if we're not using energy-type weapons like plasma, laser, all that wacky stuff in fantasy stuff, then we're going to be using, and we're still using ballistics, then, which is the more likely case, really. We'd probably still be using ballistics. Also, right, we were supposed to upgrade these frickin' temples here. Hoo-ha, yeah. Temple upgrading. That's something I seem to forget quite often. But yeah, ballistics, they're probably going to start being really large caliber rounds. Because as I mentioned in the previous episode, the fudge, what was it? The armor, body armor of regular infantry will actually be very much similar to Iron Man, or the Fallout power armor, or the Halo Majora armor, the Mark 5 armor, or 4, or whatever, maybe ODST, even the Marines, that armor, not so much ODST and Marines, that kind of doesn't count, they're kind of too unarmored, to be honest, at least from the video game's perspective, which, by the way, is 100% foolproof canon lore for the Halo universe, so that takes precedence over any other thing. But things like that kind of armor, you know, that is what I imagine we would be wearing on every common soldier. The Spartan armor would not be for, like, just special forces. It would be pretty common armor by that time, I think. Holy shit, I built the wrong freaking temple. I don't even need those there. Right, we were upgrading this Dalmatian temples. And then we were moving you to regroup with the troops at Octudron. And you were also moving north to regroup here. Let's not put you on patrol stance, because if they get engaged, that'll probably mean they die. Massilia. It's a very large Massilian army, though. Very, very large. Shit. At your command. I do not want to fight that in an open field combat. That would... Oh my god, how much time would that take? That would take so much time. Alright, you move there. You actually move north. I don't need him guarding this, but I will need you guarding this. There we go. Go. Now you move north. Ooh, Apulian heavy infantry. Italian sword. Wait, why do I get to build these things now? Apulian heavy infantry, Italian swordsman, and Lucian hoplites. Okay, let's get some changes. Italian swordsman. Not too good. Apulian heavy infantry. Kind of good. Kind of really good. Kind of very good, actually. Very, very impressive. And Lucian hoplites. Wait, how do they... What is this? Toriski Axemen. Lucian hoplites. Campanian. 58, 60, 69, 60, 20, 81... 28, 81, 19 weapon damage versus 17, 32 charge, 27. Yeah, Campanian hoplites are still better than Lucian hoplites, in my opinion. Ooh, I want Apulian heavy infantry. That's a unique kind of unit, I guess. Let's take these two, get rid of them, and I say build 2 Apulian heavy infantries. Build... We'll build 1 Italian swordsman just for fun. And what the hell is a maritime... You know what? Build 1 of those. Just build stuff. Oh man, just build units I think would be awesome. Why not? Let's experiment a bit. Find out how good they are, how cool they are. See if I really like them. Right, you were supposed to move north here. This is Volkai. You move north like that. Actually, you stay here and just this. Nothing. Alright. So yeah, in terms of long-range weaponry, my god, I need to actually get on with this subject here. So yeah, long-range ballistics is probably going to be designed in terms of ship-to-ship combat. Let's start with that. How about that? Between 2 spaceships. So space combat is the first thing we have to address. And space combat is going to be very similar to, I believe, submarine combat. It's going to be similar to submarine combat. So yes, the navies are going to pretty much take over most space combat and operational things, because it's probably going to move similar to the way submarines are going to be in combat, or else the Air Force will take over because of VTOLs. And helicopters. VTOLs and helicopters. That is the only reason. Outside of that, the Air Force has no real reason to take over, I should say, in terms of operational command. Science is a whole different thing, but just as a thing, it'll probably be the Navy. I know you can say it's just pop culture, you know. No. It's not just pop culture. It makes sense. Navy would make sense to take over, but that's way too far into the future to really consider a thing right now. Oh shit, that's another army. Sabotage. You got wounded. Wow. Okay. Whatever. Moving on. So yeah, the ship weaponry is going to be very massive. I'm not going to lie. Those things, I do not believe are going to be small weapons. They're going to be very massive. Obviously, the armor of the ships in the future are going to be really, really freaking awesome, amazingly strong, possibly somewhat light to what we would think of, but it would still be a very heavy ship, of course. But they would be massive ships. They would be massive amounts of firepower, honestly. They're going to have really large cannons. And of course, all the cannons are going to be direct line of fire. Either we're going to shoot giant projectile weaponry, or we're going to shoot, the more likely case, in my own belief, is missiles. Tracking missile kind of thing. Guided missiles. I don't know. Something lock-on missiles, basically, is what we're going to fire. But I would argue that the ships should keep giant cannons and not just rely on the missiles. Now, the reason for this is because if we have lock-on missiles, think about the electronic warfare that will go on. That's right. Electronic warfare is not only a big thing now, it will be a big thing in the future. In my personal belief, anyways. Electronic warfare is going to play a huge role. Shit, you know what? I need you to go north, yeah. I need to find some way to weaken that. You can stay. How about this? What if we what if we took you, move you to Genua, move you there, pull you here, push you here, go into patrol region. So we go for Genua. Then what we do is we let go of Octudron, hold Mediolantium, take Massalia, move back to Korea, move our armies to defend Mediolantium. Try to crush them in an open field combat somewhere around here if we can, or over here if we can. Basically split their forces and then move in from behind, pinch a group back at Octudron, and then move north to Vesontio. I think that's how we're going to deal with the Massilians. But yeah, space combat, ship combat is going to be really just that giant. Right. I was arguing for the idea that ships should retain their giant cannons, and the reason for this is because of the electronic warfare. There's going to be a lot of it in the future, but not just electronic warfare being a big thing of the future. It's going to disrupt the missiles incoming to enemy ships, meaning they're going to miss their marks, and if they miss their marks, that's not good at all. Whereas giant, it's basic. Let me put it this way: it's harder to stop a giant projectile that's not locked onto anything, that you can just fire wherever you want. It's harder to stop one of those than it would be to stop a electronic rocket guided missile thing. All right, that's just how it is. The rocket could be stopped from exploding. It could be stopped from a number of things. It could be stopped from traveling. Whereas the giant, projectile being fired from the cannon cannot be stopped unless it hits something, is basically what I'm getting at. It's gonna hit something. Whereas the missile not necessarily has to hit anything. It could be stopped. And it would be also, oh my god, can you imagine firing a missile in space? That would, in the space combat, like what if the ship turns and then you have to turn the missile? Imagine how much trouble that would be for to do that. Like, if you really wanted effective missiles, oh my god, it would cost a lot of money just to fire a freaking missile. Much like how it costs a lot of money today. But it would just cost so much more money. Ooh, did not work. Did not work at all. Alright, whatever. We'll keep trying until we get it. We'll just keep on trying till we get it. Let's not put you in a stance. Alright, looks like I'm kind of building all over the place, except Norea. There we go. Get some more money. Right, you can move north to here. And then you just kind of move over something like here. Yeah. Right there. Patrol region. Patrol region. End our turn. So yeah, that's my argument for keeping these giant cannons. It's cheaper, it's better. Honestly, it's gonna be better. So yeah, these cannons are gonna probably be designed to penetrate ship hulls. Obviously, it's gonna be used for that. Now, some of you might be wondering, oh, well, why aren't we having small cannons or smaller weapons to deal with, like, these fighter pilot things? Alright, first off, let's talk about the fighter pilots. They probably aren't gonna exist, and if they do, they're gonna be drones. So in the event that they do exist, yes, we will have these smaller cannons, but chances are that's not gonna happen, because that's a big waste of resources. I'm not gonna lie, we like to think, oh, those drones, they're gonna be so good and useful. Okay, if they get destroyed, utterly wrecked, that's a lot of metal and a lot of resources being lost that probably can't be recovered very easily. And if you can combine a pretty good number of drones together and just call it a big giant battleship, then you're basically losing one big giant battleship. These drones aren't going to be effective on their own. So, drones, though, yes, they seem really cool and seem like they could work in space, the reality is they just won't be effective for the amount of money and resources, which, by the way, resources are going to be a big thing in the future, because it's space, and it's hard to recover things in space. So, yeah, a lot of those resources just disappearing is not a good sign. It's not a good use of the resource. So, giant ship battles are the way they're probably going to go at it. Kind of like Star Wars, but minus all the ships. Star Trek is a very good explanation, I would say, for how it might be. Yeah. Ooh, shit. How about we get this? Or maybe... Yeah, let's go with that. 40 turns of tech. Why not? go. So yeah, that's how ships are going to be. So how does this relate to small weaponry like infantry armor? Well, if we've already established that the ships and the armor for infantry is going to be really advanced, really amazing, then and that the ships are obviously going to have weapons that can penetrate each other and destroy each other, then what about small arms? Well, it's going to be a similar sort, where the small weaponry is going to be very effective. You know, a pistol today, we go, oh, a 9mm can't possibly penetrate a tank. Let's put an M1A2 Abrams tank, right? Very, very difficult tank to penetrate, almost nigh impenetrable. I say almost just because we don't know for guaranteed certainty that it cannot be penetrated by anything in the world. But to my knowledge, it is almost nigh impenetrable. The reality is, I think in the future, their most basic pistol is probably going to penetrate through that tank easily. It's going to go through it like hot knife through butter, man. It's nothing. It's not even hot knife through butter. Let's take a katana through butter, man. That's probably a better comparison, just for exaggeration purposes. You know, it's just going to be that kind of weapon that I imagine it being. Either it's going to be an energy weapon and it's going to penetrate through that like nothing anyways, or it's going to be a ballistic weapon that's made out of some super material and it's going to penetrate through it again. So yeah, I do think infantry at least will be wearing something similar to that kind of armoring, that kind of protective gear. And yeah, wearing it like a suit of armor. You know, like, I don't see it any other way. So weaponry in the future is going to be very, very good. But if it's so good that obviously it penetrates the inside of the hull of a ship, it's not really useful for boarding actions, which, by the way, will be a big thing in the future. I know modern day times you could say boarding action's not a big thing, you know, it's really difficult. You're right, it is. In the future, though, it will be necessary. Imagine if you had a civil war and you didn't board action, meaning you actually destroyed the other side's ship. How many resources is that? How much resource is that? How much money is that? How much of everything is this? You don't destroy that ship, you know, but you're able to board it and take it. That's another ship to your arsenal. That's another ship you're denying the enemy. Not only denying them, that's more resource to you. That's more weaponry to you. That's more, possibly even manpower to you. This is a lot. This is a big deal. You know, boarding actions are gonna be a big deal in the future, I believe. And they may not be the most big deal, but they're gonna be a big deal and utilized whenever you can, because the reality is, it's better to take a, how do I put this? It's better to take an enemy ship and use it against them than it is to just simply destroy the enemy ship. Obviously, you won't be able to take it in every situation. There are going to be some situations where you just don't have a choice. You have to destroy it. But on other situations where you don't have to, you're going to want to board it, you're going to want to take it. Because again, it's another ship you're denying the... Oh my god, they're serious. Oh god damn it. They are actually serious. Okay. They are serious about this. Wow, they're going to try and counter me at every turn. Great. Okay, crap baskets. This is not what I wanted. So yeah, that's just what I think of boarding actions. And then small arm weaponry, obviously penetrating through the ship hull has no benefits, because think about it, if you're on a boarding action, your small weaponry is able to penetrate through the ship hull. That means that's going to cause a vacuum into space. If there's a vacuum into space, then chances are that hole might get bigger. If it gets bigger, you probably just committed suicide, because things are going to start flying towards that hole. Why? Because there's a goddamn vacuum into space. Did you not think that through, you fucking idiot? So yeah, there's that whole issue as well. Now you can say, well, what if we, could lock down areas? That's true, we could, but what if that bullet that you just shot destroyed the locking mechanism of the area? Yeah, you didn't think about that, did you? You didn't think you just fucking killed everyone. You may have killed some enemy, yeah, but I'm willing to bet they got out of there. You probably fucked yourself, didn't you? So yeah, that's why that's my reasoning why the shielding, shield, are gonna come back in. Melee might come back in a bit. But it's also because of augmentations and all of that other stuff. So yeah, that's, what I think. But in terms of ballistics, in terms of ranged weaponry, I do think it'll be very good. I think it'll be much better than what it is today, and I do think it'll be more standardized today. For instance, I'll give you an example of what I think of today's weaponry. Or should I say today's bullets. Let's take the... What's it called? The... Oh, shit, what is it called? The 5.56, yes, the 5.56 NATO round versus the 2.23. I don't even know what to call that, just a 2.23, really. They're very similar as far as bullets go. As far as I can tell, they're very similar. But there's a difference. People, will probably say, there's a big difference. It's not the same thing. Something yada yada yada. And there is a difference. The 5.56 more so for penetrating, I think, and then 2.23 was supposedly for, like, killing rodents or something. I don't remember exactly, but it's something like that. Or for soft target penetration, I guess. The reality is they're not very different as bullets, and I'd rather we just picked one rather than having both, if we could. If we could. Again, this is assuming that both bullets would do roughly the same amount of damage to both targets that they're designed to do, then why should we have two different types? Like, you can fire a 5.56 and a 2.23 from a 5.56 calibered gun, but we can't fire a 5.56 from a caliber gun that's chambered and calibered from a 2.23. Well, we can, but it probably will break, and that's why you don't want it to do that, because it can explode in your hands, and you don't want that, and there are all these other issues that come in. So in the future, I'm pretty sure our ballistics and weaponry will be much more standardized, much more sorted out to being effective and cost-effective. I shouldn't even just say effective. Cost-effective is the right words. It'll just be more cost-effective. That's just how the future's probably going to go. In terms of weaponry. So I expect a lot of bullets to do lots of damage to the regular infantryman, because if they didn't, it wouldn't be effective. So, yeah. That's kind of my thing on the whole future weapons stuff. And obviously you can argue if they're going to be so powerful, then using shields and melee weapons is out of the question, and that's why I mentioned we're probably going to have much more advanced shield technology, probably made out of really good stuff. The shield, at least. The melee weapons probably made out of a similar sort as the armor, because you can penetrate with the same kind of metal still, with enough force anyways. And that's where we get into augmentations, like augmentating a person's legs with cybernetic implants, or just other ways of augmentating. It could be genetic, where we finally reach genetic perfection, as they call it. I have no idea what that even supposedly means, but genetic perfection, as they say. Maybe humans grow and evolve to being really fast, really strong with these augmentations and whatnots, and that really will force melee combat to be much better. Because think about it, if today you can sprint 100 meters in let's just say 10 seconds, 100 meters, right? So 10 seconds per meter. I know that. 10 meters per second. That's a lot. That's actually really fast. Believe it or not. Let's just put it this way. If today you could sprint 100 meters in 10 seconds, then in the future with these augmentations, you can sprint 100 meters in 1 second, right? If that's the case, then you don't have time to pull out your gun within that 100 meters. You're going to be dead before you even pull out your gun. So what's going to happen? Melee. Now, that's exactly what's going to happen. Now, that's, of course, an over-exaggeration of the situation and how they're probably going to be, but that's the point that I'm getting at, is that it's going to be something similar to, not exact and not as exaggerated, but similar to that, where it'll be, and that's how melee is going to get revived. Because why is melee not as revived right now? It's more of a distance issue. You cannot close 100 meters very quickly in today, whereas back then, maybe even up till the musket era, or the shot and pike era at least, you could probably close 100 meters without too much issue of the guy firing, let's say, another volley or two. So, that's my take. That's my take on it. I would love to hear what you guys have to take in the comment section down below, what you guys think about the whole subject as well, and what you think future warfare might actually be like. If, of course, assuming there ever is a warfare in the future. Okay, what the fuck? I don't need money from you. You have nothing. You have nothing I need. Go away. So yeah, do tell me what you think future warfare is going to be like. How is it going to, if you believe it's going to be mixed with kind of medieval, ancient, antiquity warfare, or tribal warfare type of weaponry, stuff, concepts, and today's modern day concept, then, tell me what you think would be plausible, what you think would happen. So yeah. And I'll see you guys in the next video as soon as I try and poison another army here. And you fucking fail. God damn it. So yeah, so I'll see you guys in part 45.